Carnival Slayers.
We had Zion Major in the house, and we talking about we just wrapping up the punani slingers, the C cup, whatever you want to call it, the dick slinger. Right. You know, we had everybody perspective on that tonight, and then we started to talk about relationships. Can a man be happy? And Zion gonna ask you this: do you think you could be in a relationship with a woman and another man? And I'm not talking about no kind of platonic kind of thing. Is just a sex mate. I'm talking about a proper loving relationship, even a marriage, to a woman and another man. That's what we're talking about now. People in the comments, drop your comments. Let me know if that's something you could deal with or not deal with. Zion, what is your perspective on that?
This is a loaded question here. Now, I'm conservative in some regards, I'm liberal in some regards. And I say that to each their own, where if that relationship works for a particular individual, more power to them. If you like it, I love it for you. But for me, the way I've been wired, the way I've been trained, the way I've been ingrained, my culture, nah, it would never work. Never. I mean, when I come home, right, my woman know how I like my food. She know how I prepare my roti. She know how I like to be catered. A woman can't come home and be willing to cater to two men. It will never work.
To be honest, I don't even think.
Huh? Well, you don't have to live under the same roof.
You don't have to.
No.
Do you know what? I don't even think guys that think.
But she could handle your stories, and then she could go and handle major stories after.
You must be mad. Do you know, even guys that I think they will be cool with that, they ain't cool with that. Guys, we get jealous easy, like quickly. Like, nah, sir. I think the only people that will go along with that are mugs, like guys that can't control their girl. So she can have two of you because you can't say nothing. That's the only guys that will be into all of that, because they don't know how to control the chick. Like, nah, sir, that's weird.
I hear the testosterone coming in now. So wait a minute. Asking all your personal question. You could choose not to answer it, but you know this is hot sauce. Have you ever been in a relationship with two women?
Nah.
Hand on heart.
Yeah.
Of course I have. Absolutely.
And how did that work out?
I mean, you give everybody the respect. I think the bottom line about it is a matter of degree of honesty. Don't lie about it. You know, this is who I am. This is what makes me happy. This is what I want to do. I'm at a point in my life where I may not be ready to settle down with one individual. Maybe I'm still in my curiosity phase, experimental phase, or whatever the case may be, and I'm not ready to settle down with one person. So I'm going to be clear with my intentions with you.
Right. I like that. Stick up in a comment back to you. Major, them woman and them say you're lying. You understand?
I don't know what they're talking about.
Them woman and them probably know your major. They have your files. They say you're lying.
They just freestyling.
You understand? They say you're lying. Sexy. It was priceless.
Wait, wasn't his life supposed to finish at 10 or something? Like, ain't we going over time right now? I swear we're going over time.
Talk the truth. I tell you, hand on heart. You know, the man say hand on heart. Ladies, Major said hand on heart, okay? So stop saying that the man lying. The man said hand on heart. He hasn't been. You understand? I'm coming back. Stick up in. I'm coming back to Zion. Okay. So I think
you lot don't have my back at all, by the way. All of you lot in the comments, you don't have my back at all. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, Major, they're coming for you, man. They don't believe you, Major. I believe you, though.
Major,
thank you, my guy. Thank you, my guy.
Them say talk the truth, bro. They say talk the truth.
Go on, anyway.
Yes, I coming back to you, coming back to what you're saying. So I hear that. There's a serious thing. Because that's a comment I made before. Be honest, be upfront, and say this is what I want, this is what I for, and whatever.
Absolutely.
So, but you are saying that you could do that with the woman them, but if your woman come up to you and say, let me take a scenario. Let me say you with this woman for a little while, right? And at some point, after a couple years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever the case might be, the woman say, you know what, okay, we're going on Zion. Right now, at this point in my life, you know, I want this. I want to be in a relationship, an open relationship with you and another brother. You understand? And she was honest and come up front and give reasons and saying why she's at where she's at now. You already invested in this woman because you have a relationship, right? Are you then going to say that at that point, you know what, here, what, I'm out, this is not for me? Or you will be able to understand where she's coming from, and because you have a relationship and have an understanding, you'll be content in continuing on?
Now, you can't change the rules in the middle of the game. If it's about you and I, it's about you and I. Now, if I met you and you already had a man, and I'm not going to lie, I played different roles where it was one-on-one, where I was the outside man or whatever the case may be, then I'm going to respect my role. I'm not going to blow you up. I'm not going to blow up your household. That's what you do on the side, as long as you have time for me and make me feel special. So I understand that. I have played the role of an outside man, the honor man, in the past. And I'll be very respectful to your husband too, and greet him good morning and buy him a drink in the club and all that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to play my part. But if you and I are vibing together and you say you're interested in having an open relationship and being with another man, my morals, my ethic, no, I'm not going to stand for that. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to have any animosity. I'm going to say, if that's what you want to do that makes you feel happy, then by all means, go ahead and do it. But you're not going to do it with me, though.
I hear that. So, and do you think that you would ever be in that situation as well, where you in a relationship and it's like during the relationship, you're feeling the next woman and you want to, what would you do? You'd leave the one that you're with and go the next woman. You wouldn't be with two of them.
No. But the bottom line about it, if I'm with my partner, my woman, I have to express to her how I'm feeling. If this is where I'm going through my life, sometimes we grow up, sometimes we grow apart. The bottom line about it, we keep growing, we keep evolving. So if we at a stage in my relationship where I feel I want to see someone, because they say variety is the spice of life, I'm going to share those feelings and those sentiments with my partner. So I'm not saying I'm not going to have another woman, but I have to at least be honest about it. We're adults, we make our own rules, we do what works for us. This is our relationship, not knowing anyone else's business. But the bottom line about it, I think the hurt and the animosity and the deceitfulness come when we try to do what we want to do without letting our significant other know. So if your partner is willing to do that, which a lot of women would be inclined to do that if you're straight up and real with them, you know, rather than hiding your family and you're hiding your kids and you're hiding that you have a whole wife at home, you know, it never ends well. So the bottom line about it, if you feel this is what you want to do, just be straight up with your partner. You'd be surprised what you can get away with if you're just honest and straightforward.
Major, you hear that?
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about that kind of life, so I can't even comment. You feel me? Good boy. You dig?
Now, I'm not saying it always works, because sometimes you will enter a relationship and everything is going good, but once feeling gets involved, people tend to change the rules of engagement. You know, so things that they never mind, all of a sudden it's become an issue. You know, let's say you're with your outside woman or whatever the case may be. She never was complaining that you get phone calls from your wife. Now it's an issue because feelings start to develop this type of feeling away that, hey, when you're with me, be with me. You know, so little things like that, and it changes.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. I see some people saying entanglement, kitty balling. Imagine your man come and tell you she want to open a relationship.
That's some logic.
I look like my name is Will Smith, not me, Papayo.
Yeah, no, sir.
I am not Will Smith.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, you know, I personally think it could work both ways. From the man's perspective, I've seen it from the man's perspective, less so from the woman's side, you know, doing it because women, as maids say, tend to be loyal, tend to be accepting. You know, it's how women who accept the husband outside children, treat them as their own kids, you know, bring up the family and with the next woman and everybody cool. You know what I'm saying? But
I think one of the reasons why it's probably been kind of difficult, because I'm gonna keep it real from a man perspective, and I'm just putting it all out there. I will be intimate with a woman and understand that it's physical enjoyment on both parts. Now, most of the time, when a woman becomes intimate with a man, they normally develop an emotional attachment first.
Mm.
So it's a deeper emotional connection once a woman open herself up to a man and give herself to a man. As opposed to me, where I could genuinely love my woman, have an emotional bond with her. If anything happens, she know I'm going to be there for her 100%. But yet still have a physical relationship with someone else and not get feelings involved.
Do you know what though? That's not always true for a lot of brothers though. You say that. Do you know what? A lot of guys say that. Like, yeah, I'm beating this thing, I'm beating that thing. But you'll be surprised. Bears catch more feelings than chicks sometimes.
I think it's ego. It's not a matter of feelings. It's ego. Just to know that somebody else is invading in your so-called territory or dipping into your pot. It's more of an ego with a man. Because, for example, I think a man wouldn't mind if his woman was creeping or doing something, but let somebody else find out that his woman is dating another man, and all of a sudden he has to defend his reputation. He has to defend his honor. He has to deal with the matter. So I think it's more of an ego, not necessarily emotional attachment, but men are very ego. You know, their ego caused them to make a lot of bad decisions.
I don't know, man. A lot of these guys, they act a certain way, but trust me, I know for these chicks, I know I've got a lot of female friends. I know a lot. These guys is emotional, man. I'm telling you. They act a certain way, but they're emotional. Yeah. That's why no one can't get in no entanglement. No normal guy wants to be with a chick that has another husband and all of that. You might say you do, but you don't like it. Guys, we're emotional creatures. We just hide and pretend. I'm telling you, these brothers out here, they're not being real. It's a lot of pillow talk, a lot of emotions with these brothers. I know this 100%. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting point, Major, because one of the things that, you know, come to my mind is the whole upbringing of men, you know, how we raise our boys into men. Because, and tell me if this was your experience growing up, you know, I've seen it. I mean, I have a son myself, but I've seen it where, you know, as a little boy growing up, you're teaching him to be manly. He's not supposed to cry and show feelings and, you know, get emotional and all this sort of stuff. You have to be macho, you know, and you kind of teach them that. And does that then translate or transcend into your adulthood, whereby, as you're saying, men might be catching feelings, but they have that ego where, you know, society is saying to them, you had to be kind of like, you know, showing no emotions and feelings and stuff. But deep down inside, they actually have feelings that they're carrying, you know, the total feelings. You know, and so do you believe that the male upbringing has something to do with that?
I agree.
Yeah, I think you broke that down, actually, yeah.
But men get emotional more over their pride, over their ego, if they think they're being so-called disrespected or whatever the case may be. I don't think men need to develop an emotional connection before they become intimate. So the intimate part that
no way, you're right.
But don't get me wrong. You broke that down in any other area, men can become very, very emotional. They develop an attachment in that regard. But I'm just saying, like, as far as having that intimacy is where women have to emotionally kind of connect emotionally and mentally before they open up to a man. I don't think men has any emotional involved. It's more of a physical sensation.
Yeah, that's not all women. Not all women have to develop emotions. We're just gonna put that out there. They ain't all angels. Some women be freeing up the things cash. Do you know what I'm saying? They just have to look at a brother and the things just warp on like this. So that's not all women.
In West London or in East London? Let me know what part of London.
Bro, all...
I'll remember that the next time I travel to London.
Depends where you go, boy.
The thing just open, the sea man, and the thing just open.
Just, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
it's an unfortunate fact. It's an unfortunate fact.
Open sesame.
That's it, yeah.
People in the comments, if you feel any discussion, drop some flames. Kitty, I hear you. Yeah, women and men wired differently. We hear that. They keep saying
Absolutely.
that. I wonder to what extent, and obviously that's a general statement, general speaking, but there will be exceptions to the rule, because I saw a comment somebody else say that, you know, it have some women that does act like man them. I hear that, you know what I mean? And vice versa, you know what I'm saying? So you could get it on both sides. You could definitely get it on both sides. But I respect your opinions and your commentary on this. This has been really interesting. You know, it's so good getting a man's perspective on this, because like when we talking, you know, and we try to think, well, what would the man think? But hearing it from the man them or themselves is a good thing, you know. So at least we getting an insight. And I think that's another thing, the communication between men and women. I mean, guys, tell me what you think about this, because I feel sometimes there's a little bit of a disconnect in terms of the communication between men and women, and us trying to understand each other, you know. And for me, like, you know, trying to understand men and the male psyche. I'll let you know a little secret. My dad raised me, so I'm a daddy's girl. My father raised me. Yes, my mom was around. Love my mom, mommy. It's not like I don't love you. Yes, she raised me, but everybody knew that my father raised me. So you know, is really interesting. Getting your perspective on that, and how that communication works. And do you feel that women understand men? You know, do you feel that the woman in your life understands you?
Yeah.
Angel, I'll come to you first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think women do understand men for sure. Yeah. If we're gonna be real, if we're gonna be real, we're the problem. Chicks ain't the problem. We do shit that we don't want chicks doing and shit like that, so it don't even make sense. We say we're going out, like, we'll be back in an hour, we come back the next day, so we do fucked up shit. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, but
yeah, you can.
We do bad things, or we act like we don't care, but deep down we really do, but we don't want to say, and all of that. We're the problem. Like, if we're gonna be truly honest, do you know what I'm saying? So we're just throwing mixed things out there because we don't say what it is a lot of the time. We're just beating around the bush, and do you know what I'm saying? You might like a girl, but you don't want to say, and you want to act a certain way. Like, we're the problem. I think every chick around me knows me. Like, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, guys, some thumbs up for that. People saying preach big man thing. You know, Zaya, come to you. What's your take on it?
No, I definitely agree with Major. I think men are the more complicated species, no question about that. It takes a level of investment to really get to understand a woman. And I think men are kind of, I don't want to say intimidated, but scared to understand a woman. Because if you take time to understand her history, understand what causes her pain, then you're going to feel extra guilty if you're the source of that pain or the cause of that pain. So we rather pretend that we don't care about the emotions or to express that emotional connection with it.
God, that was the nail on the head right there, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, because once I get emotionally invested, then it makes me feel guilty if I gotta go do my dirt and so forth. But if I know your history and I know your pain and I know what you've been through, then I'm a bigger asshole if I just go ahead and add to that pain. So I'd rather pretend that I don't know about the hurt, or I don't know what definitely caused you to become the person that you are.
That is deep. That is deep. You know, and I think the thing about it is like, sometimes I feel it's hard, you know, to get a man to really open up and communicate on a kind of level, you know, because sometimes you wanna understand, you know, and you ask the question, but it's like the answer that comes in is just so superficial. It's just the surface, you know, like, and this is probably people think you're in a relationship, and from a woman's perspective, you know, trying to get to understand your man, whether it be all you're dating or whether it be your partner or whether it be your husband, you know, trying to really understand and get to communicate with the man. But sometimes it's like they don't go deep enough. He don't reveal himself, you know, for you to really support him. You understand? Because you want to support him, you know, and therefore he have to give you that opening for you to step in there. But, you know, the question is why? Why is it that some men, you know, they're just hard to communicate to and get into that kind of level? Why is that so?
I'm not going to show vulnerability. I'm not going to show weakness. I'm not saying it's right. It's just, for me, I've been conditioned to resolve my problems and work things out myself. Like, I'm not trying to really tell you what my weaknesses are, what my insecurities are, you know, and so forth. I'm not going to do that. Eventually, you might discover it. I mean, if you're into me, you're going to see what my pet peeves are, what my insecurities are, and so forth. You know, most of the time, I get silent real quick. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to fight. But I will block and delete a person very quick. I know it might be immature and so forth. But rather than to show you that you have me emotionally invested and I'm hurt or I'm feeling some type of way, I'm just gonna walk away completely. It's not right, but it's a defense mechanism that I have used in the past in my relationships. Yeah.
Wow, big facts. Big facts. That's exactly like me as well. I sold my shit on my own. Like I don't have time to be going to speak to this person and that person, deal with it, get it done, move on. Like simple as that.
So you don't feel that your woman could help you on that journey?
I don't need it. I mean, we know what the issues are with ourselves. You know, you have to heal yourself, and you know the issues are. We're probably not ready to confront the issue. It comes like a person that might be a little overweight. I know that eating all these fried foods is not good for me, but I'm not ready to make that hard decision and stop eating the fried foods. You know, so the same thing in our relationship, that we know what the issue is. We're probably just not ready to confront that issue. Even in relationships, I know that everything I may not be is on the up and up. But at that point, the same way you want that fried food is the same way that I want what I want.
So is it that you're taking the easy way out then? Because sometimes I find, personally, from my own experiences, like, you know, as you say, you ain't ready to deal with that. But it's like the time will never come when you're ready then. You know what I mean? Because you working out your shit, right? You handling your shit and not giving me the opportunity to help you work it out, or to, you know, to communicate.
It depends on what you're talking about.
Kind of level. Will there ever be a right time?
It depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about having relationship issues, I'm never going to hold anything back. If you ain't doing something that I want you to do, I'm telling you that. I'm going to tell. I'm never going to hold that back. If you're not freeing up the things enough, I'm going to tell you. I'm never going to like hold it in and hope that you do a thing. Like, I'm going to tell you. Do you know what I'm saying? If you do something about it or not, that's your issue. Do you know what I'm saying? But it depends what you're talking about, opening up about. If we're talking some real deep emotional issues that I'm having, then I'm going to deal with that myself, I guess. But if you're talking relationship issues, I will tell you. I don't like this. End of story. Do you know what I'm saying? I never hold anything back like that at all.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's really interesting. And I'm talking about deep relationship stuff. I'm not talking about, you know, things that affect you, because, you know, there are things that affect men. You know, you guys are human. Just like how things affect us, things affect you. Sometimes you have stuff on your mind. You have, as you say, you have your own insecurities, things that you worry about, you know, and I just feel that sometimes it's hard to get you guys to really try and communicate that, so that you and your woman could move forward, you know, you and your partner could move forward. Sometimes I just feel as if you guys hold things inside so much, man. You know? Maybe you're
not listening. Maybe your guy's telling you things and you're not really listening and taking it in, so he gets fed up. So he doesn't want to continue talking about the same things that you're not getting. Maybe it's that.
Now, one of my toxic traits is, I shouldn't have to tell you how to treat me. You should already know what's right from wrong. The bottom line about it, one thing I tell people, I don't care if you have 10 other guys that you're talking to, but when you're with me, you better make me feel like I'm the only man in the world. So in other words, if we're out together and so forth, and I see you constantly on your phone or you're on social media and you're sending messages while we're on a date together, I already set in my mind, this date is over. I'm never going to see this person again, and I'm deleting them. Now, I wouldn't communicate that with her over dinner, but you should already know that this is inappropriate behavior. You know, the little things like that. Now, I understand that some women may not be no big deal to them. That's what they do. They're on social media all day. They're on their phone or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line about it, I shouldn't have to tell you how to treat me. Or how to treat anyone. It's just common courtesy.
I think that goes both ways as well. I don't think our woman will stand for that, you know. Just a quick shout out to Detroit, the 2024. Big shout out to Detroit in the US. Hello everybody on the live. If you're enjoying the conversation, drop some flames. I'm just looking at some comments here. Sexy Chick was talking about communication. You know, you can't hide from your partner. You can hide from the world, but not from your partner. Interesting point. You know, and that's about opening up and stuff like that. What we're gonna do, people. If there's anything anybody wants to say on this topic, just drop it in the comments, guys. We're gonna move on for time because we're into the last half hour of the show, and there's a couple of things I want to touch on. But anything else you guys want to say on this topic before we just switch it up a bit?
No, I'm good.
You're good.
That was an emotional session right there. That was like a counseling session. That was a lot. How did we go from that? How did we go from pum pum talk to this big old counseling session right there, boy? Lord have mercy. Jeez.
But one thing I would say in the last point on this particular topic is that you can succeed your way out of trauma. Whatever unresolved trauma that you had as a child is going to manifest in your relationship. If you had issues, it's going to manifest sooner or later. Sometimes people think that if I only get a certain good job, then the pain is going to go away. Or if I have this beautiful woman, then the pain is going to go away. If I make certain amount of money, then the pain is going to go away. Then you realize that you have the job, you're making money, you have a beautiful woman, and you're still hurting. Yeah. So eventually you're going to have to address that trauma that was never been resolved. And, you know, and it happens to women too, women and men or whatever the case may be. But I'm not saying the other partner has to help you fix it. I'm just saying before you commit to someone, you have to understand the traumas in your life and the baggage or the luggage that you're bringing into this relationship as well before you hurt someone else.
Yeah, straight facts, straight facts. I respect that. That is proper big man and big woman thing. Yeah, that's proper. Miss P, yes, you miss the pum pum talk. I am not revisiting the pum pum talk. Why it is what you like the pum pum so? Everybody on this pum pum thing, yes. Give us yes. I see that. Serious straight talks and facts that I just dropped some nuggets there.
You are watching Slayer's Hot Sauce. We hope you're enjoying the content. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Carnival Slayers lead and the rest will follow. Carnival Slayers.